Tonight, our top story takes us to the Texas state capitol as a battle between state lawmakers continues over the proposed congressional redistricting map.
Dozens of Texas Democratic lawmakers left the state overnight to avoid voting on the redistricting map proposed by Republican lawmakers. Ryan Chandler explains how this change affects more than just the state, but the entire nation.
Well, the Texas Capitol here in Austin has quickly turned into the epicenter of an explosive political fight now playing out nationwide. Let's zoom out. This is all about power and performance in next year's midterm elections. President Trump asked state Republicans here in Texas to redraw the congressional district maps to make districts that are friendlier to Republicans, with the goal of adding 5 more Republican seats to Congress. Democrats taking extreme measures to try and stop that, fleeing to Chicago, New York, and Boston to fight this fight in friendlier territory, denying state Republicans here a quorum. That redistricting bill was set for debate and a vote on the House floor today. Without a quorum, with Democrats out of town, that is not going to happen. Meanwhile, Governor Abbott promising extreme measures to try and stop this. He has threatened to remove these absent Democrats from office, arguing that they are abandoning their responsibilities. They could also face fines and even arrests and felony charges if they do not return to the Capitol. But the Democrats I've spoken to in Chicago today said they packed for 3 weeks and they are prepared to run out the clock on this special session and force Governor Abbott to call another one if he wants to give President Trump those congressional maps. In Austin, I'm Ryan Chandler.
As the push to redraw the state's congressional maps has been put on hold, the House met at 3 p.m. today and was unable to make quorum, as those several Democratic representatives are still out of the state.
And as we just heard, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has threatened consequences for those who fled, and arrest warrants have been ordered. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker joins us now live after speaking to our local lawmakers about their support of the bill and their response to the Democratic exodus.
Representative Hillary Hicklin, who serves Bell County, says she is a proud co-author of House Bill 4. She says Democrats who left the state in an act to stop the bill are selfish and cowardly. House Bill 4 aims to redistrict the state's congressional map following a push from the Trump administration. Hicklin said President Trump's landslide win in the state was a motivation to redistrict. She identified the efforts as reflecting, quote, the political performance of Texas. Hicklin denies arguments that the move is gerrymandering and says instead the map now aligns Texans' representation with Texans' values. Though its effect on our area is smaller than others, there is still a change.
There's not a huge difference between Temple and Waco, Bell County and McLennan County, and those are essentially the 2 congressional districts that have been merged. So I don't think that we're going to see a huge shift in it locally in the way that the representation is in Washington, D.C., but ultimately this is based on political performance, and we can see that clearly in the last election.
Hicklin emphasized her support for the redrawing, saying some of the current districts defy common sense. The standoff between the 2 parties continues into tomorrow when the House returns at 1 p.m. I'll have more from a Bell County resident who opposes the push for redistricting at 6.